Welcome to the Cameron Show. I'm your friend, Cameron Tyler, coming to you live from Dude IDK Studios in Denver, Colorado. I'm so happy you're here, and I'm so happy to be joined today by my friend, Tyler Quick. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh. So we have an interesting little origin story because really there's no origin, no traceable origin, except for that we are gays in Denver, and we are roughly of the same class of 2009, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, like we were like twinks when the first Kesha album came out. I think
That
is
is a
kind of like
great
the best
way to look at
historicize
it. Yeah, either TikTok or Warrior. The Kesha prime was when that was our prime.
Yeah. Well,
Katy Perry, Teenage Dream. Rihanna was big. Britney Spears, Till the World Ends. That was our era. And we were partying at tracks and we were having a good time going to parties. And then we've pretty much just been connected by social media for the last decade and a half. But I always watch you, and I think that we have a lot in common, which we will totally get into.
Okay, I'm excited.
I know. I am excited to talk to you about it. It's weird because honestly, we've never sat down to a conversation before.
No.
But here we are, and I messaged Tyler, and I was just like, I see that you're starting this campaign. I would like to have you on my podcast. And Tyler is just like, I'm down. And just like that, here we are. So this is our first conversation, which I love because I don't know if you know this. Part of the reason I started this podcast is because I want to promote the idea that we should get to know people who are like acquaintances more than just watching them on social media. Right. And we've done that for so many years. This is great. This is exactly what I wanted this to be. So I love that. For our friends at home who have no idea who you are, the first question that I always ask is, how would you introduce yourself to someone new in 10 words or less?
Yeah, I'm like a local gay Denver fly on the wall that just wants more.
That just wants more.
Just wants a little more.
Wait, I love that. That's me too. I identify with that. A local Denver gay on the wall who just fly on the wall, not a gay on the wall.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not participating at tracks anymore. I'm just part of, the scenery, watching everything go down.
That is a good way to look at it because, we were just talking. I couldn't go to tracks now. I could, but I don't want to.
Oh my God, I get anxiety going to King Supers.
A full warehouse nightclub you can keep it. It's for the young gays. The other question I have is this, just to set the tone.
Yeah.
If you closed your eyes and you assigned a color to whatever aura you're feeling, what color do you see?
It's like a warm yellow orange.
I love when people say that.
I'm not usually a warm colored person too. But it was a warm yellow orange.
Maybe you're feeling warm and fluffy because you have a new puppy.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't know. Or if I'm excited to be on a podcast for the first time because the dog was, frankly, a little annoying before I left the house. She was not orange glow. She was evil.
Oh, that
red
may be
demon.
The orange glow of hell.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Okay, this is your first podcast?
I've never been on a podcast before. I'm going on my coworker's podcast in 3 weeks, but you beat her to the punch. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, this will be your practice then.
Or the real deal.
Or honestly,
any question.
It is the real deal. You did tell me there was nothing off limits, although I promise there will be nothing too invasive. But I do appreciate that you're just I'm open to all questions because you are running for office.
Right.
This is the main thing that made me I have to get Tyler on my show because I think it's amazing.
Thank you.
You are running for county commissioner in Westminster.
In Adams County.
Oh, Adams County.
Yep. Which Westminster is a piece of the puzzle.
Adams County commissioner.
Yeah.
Tell me what a county commissioner does because I sincerely would like to know.
It's actually crazy. And you live here in the city and county of Denver, right?
Yes, I live right downtown Denver.
So it's a little more complicated because you have a city council here and you don't really have county commissioners. You just have the city council. But county commissioners all across the U.S. actually, sometimes they might have a slight variant on the name. They basically allocate the county budget, which even, up in Adams County, suburban Denver, that's almost $1 billion of taxpayer revenue.
Oh, Jesus.
And they approve all land use deals that are outside of a home rule municipality. So, and there's other things they do. They set, I could potentially set the county minimum wage, although that might be a topic that will upset certain people watching because, God forbid people make more money. there are a few other like policy decisions you make, but it's like 95% budget and land use.
Okay. And this is your first political campaign, right?
As a candidate, yes.
As a candidate.
So I've worked on many, many political campaigns over the years, but this is the first time I am the product that I am trying to sell.
And I think that's amazing. You and I have to be around the same age.
34.
I'm 34 too.
Oh, 91?
91.
Gemini?
Leo.
Okay, close enough though.
You're a little older
Respect.
than me.
Yeah,
You're a couple months
sorry.
older than me.
I'm your senior.
Well, and it makes sense because you're doing not a senior citizen thing, but a senior to me thing.
It is a senior citizen thing. If we're being honest, like running for office is such a boomer move, right?
Honestly, you're kind of right. It is refreshing that you are my age and you're running for office. And I think that is what stunned me. And something that I feel like I know about you, because one thing I feel like we have in common is this. I remember when I was really deep in I went through this phase where I was very consumed by AIDS literature. And I was reading a lot of my favorite authors, Paul Monette. I also love Larry Kramer. I was like big because the 80s and the time where AIDS was such an epidemic especially for gay men and trans women of color. It's so fascinating to me because of the government's response to it or non-response to it. And I was really big into that. And I feel like around that time, you had posted some things. I don't know if it was directly related to that, but it was a lot about queer leaders, I want to say. And also you had our current or are just a very big person on like philosophy.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, I have a philosophy doctorate, which is not useful in most, but if you want to talk about philosophy.
Oh, I would get lost probably. But I just remember you posted a lot of things that resonated with me, especially while I was very deep into that era, which obviously what a existential era
it's
to be
something that I think a lot of millennial gay men gravitate to because the like tragedy's familiar, but they reacted to it very beautifully, right? Like they're like, oh my God, let's organize. Let's make this medicine available to the public.
Exactly.
And we as a generation are still kind of struggling, I think, to get on our feet that way, right? We're oppressed. So but does anyone have ketamine?
Yeah, exactly. and that I think is what really stuns me and excites me about what you're doing, because I think most people our age would have no idea where to even start. And I don't think that a lot of people don't want to be involved because of apathy, or maybe I'm optimistic for this, but I think that it's less about apathy than a lot of people think and more about sincerely people don't know what to do.
I think you're 100% right. Like, and we can't blame ourselves. Public education was defunded.
Yeah.
And sometimes like it was actually counterproductive in things like sex ed, right? Like
Totally.
Sometimes you're like, oh, we probably could use less public education there. Ultimately, for me, I grew up in Adams County Democratic Party politics. Like my dad was, first he was a deputy DA, and then he was later like the elected DA. I like hung out on the floors of like union shops and the county commissioner's home. So like I got to see this up really, really close. And today it's funny. I jokingly call myself a Nepo baby, but all my campaign advisors are like, don't do that. You make $20,000 less than the annual median income. Like you're just saddling yourself with like a title that doesn't even really benefit you because no one gives a shit who your dad was 10 years ago. But like I think being intimately familiar with the process, of course I had an easy way in. Like, for example, the area that I live in is the 4th County Commission District is just the southwest corner of Adams County. There's a sliver of Westminster. There's Federal Heights, but that's it. There's no other municipalities. It's all unincorporated Adams County. The average age is like 32. It's hella diverse, but they always have a harder time finding people to run for office in this area because there's not really many city councils.
Yeah. Westminster,
love y'all, but mostly you tend to elect white people from the north side of town, right? Wow. So it's like there's not a talent pipeline. And one of the reasons I got in this race is I was like, if you have privilege, you use it for good, right? Yeah. I have the knowledge, the expertise to get in, run, and win a progressive campaign in this area. I felt responsible to do it. But then I meet people who are like, oh, I could never. And I'm like, I know, like the system is actually rigged against most of us.
That's
Like
true.
the system is rigged. So of course you feel, oh, I can't get involved. It's like, well, there are very powerful people who don't want you involved. And that's a big part of it.
That
It's a huge part of it.
is the part no one's really saying out
Yeah.
loud, but that is a huge part of it, is that, yeah, people are completely right to be intimidated by it, I think, because it's a very bureaucratic process. It's, there's a lot of red tape in politics. Obviously, you know this.
Oh, yeah.
What would you say, because you do have this background and this knowledge, and fortunately for everybody, you also have the desire to do something. What advice would you have for someone who has the desire to do something but doesn't necessarily have that background that you have?
I think that the number one step right now is to learn a little bit about media literacy.
Oh, yeah.
Pick some really good places to start doing some research and reading, right? Preferably not Reddit, y'all. And like learn about an issue or a candidate or a movement that like you can get behind, that you can put your energy behind. For example, this year, dozens of millennials will launch these insane quixotic bids for U.S. Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And like, first of all, I think honestly being in Congress would be like one of the worst jobs ever. You have to run for re-election every 2 years.
God.
You're always begging rich people for money. And then when you're like 1/400th of this vote of like, will it actually change things, or will like the glass lobby show up out of nowhere to nuke this bill?
Yeah.
Right. So, so much effort goes into that. And then you have city council. You have city council, you have county commissioner, you have local school board. All of these are much easier to win races.
Okay.
They're much more locally impactful, and like millennials just aren't even being directed by the media they consume to these races. Like if you're
That's
concerned
true.
about pollution, that was my big concern, is I'm really tired of pollution and inaction on climate change, and there's so much more you can do at the local level than will ever be accomplished in Washington, D.C.
I think that's such a good point. It's, because I think, like, I literally had to start this episode by asking you, what is a county commissioner? I sure as hell never learned that in school. I would be willing to bet
Right.
anyone my age or younger did not learn what a county commissioner does in school. To be honest with you, I think about jobs like the mayor, and I'm like, could I list 10 things that the mayor does? The honest to God truth is no. And so I think that completely makes sense.
Yeah.
That all of this local work is really overlooked. So I'm really happy that you're doing it.
And I think it's important for those of us who do to like, number one, kick the ladder down, right? So whoever
Yes.
replaces me should be from an even more marginalized situation. They should be an advocate for even more marginalized communities, right? And like number two, I should use my know-how of social media to like go on podcasts and explain what a county commissioner is, right?
Exactly.
Do things that help our generation figure out, because we are also going to have to take power whether we like it or not. Like that's the nature of time,
That is the nature of time.
I think a lot of young people are like almost like willing to let the like boomer dictatorship continue, because they're like, well, I don't know what to do. And it's like, well, what happens when they're gone?
That's a
You
great
should at least be
point.
practicing.
Or you should at least know what the different jobs are.
For sure.
Yeah, because also the thing is, we are voting for these people. And, admittedly, I have a Politico friend who, when I get stuck, I'm like, you know me. Tell me who do I vote for this?
For sure.
But wouldn't it be fabulous if I looked and I was like, I know what this job does, and so I'm going to look at this person's background and this person's background, because let's be real, a lot of people like me, for example, I shouldn't say obviously, but it's probably pretty obvious. I am a registered Democrat, and
Right.
for the most part, if I'm voting down a ballot, I'm just looking for who's the Democrat. And that is what a lot of people do.
Right.
But sometimes there might be a third party candidate worth looking at, if it's especially in a local election.
Mhm. Yeah.
Or there might be more than one person that you would like in general. And so I do think we would benefit to know what these different jobs do.
And the other thing is, so few people vote in Democratic primaries, and then they complain about the people that come out of them. As someone currently
Yes.
running in one, let me tell you, I would love to make your dreams come true, but if only 15 people show up to vote, and 9 of them are lobbyists. Well, guess who I have to cater my message to? It's not like rocket science, right?
Oh my God.
It's like I find myself constantly talking about tiny, inane issues that like I don't care about, but I'm like, well, this concerned 85-year-old's going to show up to vote, and my next door neighbors who are lovely people and care, about simple issues, affordability, climate change, they're like maybe a 25% chance to show up and vote. They're normal.
Mm-hmm.
They're young. They're going to be affected by the issues, but they might not vote. And this ideologically motivated 90-year-old, well, sorry, they're going to vote. So I guess that's who I'm talking to tonight.
That's interesting. I guess I never even thought about that, but you're right. So right now, and okay, wait, let's rewind a little bit. Were you running a campaign for a different position first?
Yeah.
And so what happened? Because I noticed there was a shift in what you're running for.
Uh-huh.
What happened?
So 2 things happened. One, I'm going to be ginger about just because you never know who might be watching this.
Oh.
I was under the impression that no one else was running for the county commissioner position.
Okay.
And like everyone else, I guess I learned that I need to do my homework sometimes. In the city council race, the honest to God truth that is like 0% bullshit is mostly that like my website was just so late coming out.
Yeah.
What's hilarious is now, and there were 4 Democrats running. Well, it's a nonpartisan race, so technically no one's a Democrat, but there were four progressives running, and I was like, for 3 seats, I was like, well, I'm probably just guaranteeing that one of my worthy colleagues, loses, and that a Republican wins.
Mm-hmm.
So I got out. What's funny is another Democrat later got in the race too.
Oh.
I know, and she doesn't have a website yet.
Oh, you might as well have stayed in.
Damn.
But
Well,
that's okay.
Well, I just wasn't prepared. And the other, just being really honest, like hopefully this isn't gonna be in too much trouble, but I saw myself as someone who could win the county commissioner seat, be true to progressive values while inoffensive to those who may not foremost identify as a progressive, and kind of above all else, like keep special interests from playing in this race. Like that's my goal. I'm tired of a bunch of out-of-towners coming up with a litmus test that then, once again, it gets back to the nobody votes issue. So like now I'm like talking about this obscure issue, or even counterproductively talking about something in a way that's like, shit, I know this is not true, right?
Yeah.
A lot of economic issues, you end up having to talk out of both sides of your mouth. So my thought was I can win this race really easily. I know what it takes here. I've done it on other people's campaigns. So I'm just going to go balls to the walls with this and really try really hard to like win big so that special interests stop trying to purchase the community I grew up in.
Okay, I love that. I mean, I really love that because, and the reason why I asked the question is because I would like to illustrate that even though you are a self-proclaimed Nepo baby of Westminster Adams County politics, it's still not easy. It's not an easy process, and there are a lot of factors that play into it. And so people are right to be intimidated by it. But to your other point, like eventually millennials are going to have to take the driver's seat.
Yeah.
And eventually after that, Gen Z is going to have to take the driver's seat.
Yep.
And I mean, I probably to a Gen Z kid sound like a boomer for saying this, and I'm just a millennial, but that scares me because I think that they feel more apathy than we even do, and we are
definitely do.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. They certainly do, and we are the generation that watched 9/11 happen and Columbine, and I just it freaks me out, and I think I need to know more people my age who are doing this. I mean, I honestly, when I tell you this, you are the only person, even in my extended social circle, that has run for office. I mean, that's sincerely why it was so jarring to me.
I think it's important to remember that, it's funny because like on the gay time scale, yeah, I'm middle-aged, right? Like,
I know exactly
I'm retired.
What you mean.
I'm retired from gay life. But from the politician point of view, I'm like incredibly young, right?
A baby.
So young to be doing this. So I think you'll see more people do it as our 30s pick up and as we get into our 40s for sure. The average age of Congress, speaking of, I believe is in the late 60s, early 70s range.
Oh my God.
I know. Its own kind of problem, right?
I know. And I don't want to come off as ageist, but it's the consequence of time that you talked about earlier, is that we cannot just keep expecting a generation above us to solve our problems. And that's kind of what has gotten us into a lot of the big picture mess that we're in now,
Yeah.
is just thinking someone else will take care of it.
I think that how you apathize people is so important, though, because one thing I like to remind people of is that the boomers were exactly like us, actually.
Okay.
Like in the 60s and 70s, they're getting drafted to go to Vietnam and just mowed down. And a lot of them are just like, well, I don't care. And both parties are the same. Well,
Yeah.
actually, when you look into the Vietnam issue, both parties were the same, unfortunately. But so maybe they had a point. But, like voter apathy is really low. And then in the 80s, you see boomers flock to the polls. They're motivated. They're excited. Who motivates them? It's Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, I don't know if we are going to be like that, but I think Bernie Sanders is a really missed opportunity because he motivated us on substance. And I hope to see that again. I hope someone motivates us on substance and not like, I'm a handsome former movie star. Let's nuke Iran, know?
Yeah. Let's not. Okay, yeah, that totally makes sense. Let me ask you this question, because I think that a lot of people who are listening might be wondering this like I am. You are more involved in politics than most other people I know. What is one thing about millennials or Gen Z that gives you hope?
I actually think like, and it's funny because sometimes when you talk to like the heavy Democratic Party people, because I've been in grad school and doing other things, they're like, oh, he's not really that involved in politics, right?
Yeah.
So, and actually, this is a great time to shout out Adams County Democrats are actually led by some incredible young people and
Oh, really?
incredible young LGBTQ people, which I'm really proud of that. But I'm also proud of how many people are political outside of politics with our generation, with
Okay.
media, with art, with, like we're Colin Kaepernick's generation as well. I think that that's something, I think that millennials should honestly give people a lot of hope. We have the right attitude. We have the right skill sets. We're weathered by 2 recessions. I think we're ready to lead. Now, getting the opportunity to lead, that's what worries me.
Yes.
The deck is so stacked against us, but I see us as a very talented generation.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that is kind of like, as a writer, I've written 2 books. They're right there. I wrote a fiction book and a memoir.
Yeah.
And I'm working on another fiction book now. And I think you're right what you say about our generation is so political, even outside of politics, because I know for a fact when I was writing the first book and when I was writing my memoir, so much of what I thought about was not the politics in the sense of who is sitting in what seat locally or at the state level or federal or whatever. But I sincerely and thoroughly, with all 3 books, thought about like the next generation down and things that affected me, and it made me wonder what will affect them. And like the first book is set 10 years before, so I thought about what did people experience before me. And to your point, like when I was deep in the whole of like AIDS literature and films and reading about that crisis, a lot of it was wanting to know how people were political in their daily lives. And I think you're right. Like millennials are largely that way. I have a lot of friends who are that way. Like for instance, I have a friend, Teresa, who is so shaken by the shooting that happened recently in Evergreen. And, she has 2 kids in the school, and she found herself not sure what to do. And she can't feasibly run for office right now at this time in her life. And she wouldn't know how to write a bill or anything. And so the closest thing that she feels like she can do is write postcards with like a personal narrative on them to send to politicians to try to bridge that political, non-political, bureaucratic, non-bureaucratic gap.
That's
so
wonderful.
I think that's a really good point, is that it's good for people to know there's a lot of ways to be political without running for office, but to acknowledge that running for office is not an opportunity everybody is afforded.
It's also, I don't think, like, right for everyone, right? Like the function of a public official is not on these issues to necessarily be a leader in the truest sense. You're like almost like a secondary leader. MLK was never elected to anything.
That's true.
White people had like a 30% approval rating of him the day that he died, you know? So it's
Ugh.
like, it's important to remember that like the real heroes don't get elected to shit because the system is not built for those people. And you know, there are many people that have won elected office that I really admire. My dad's one of them. My mentor in politics, Eva Henry, is an incredibly inspirational woman. But what I guess I'm really saying is that the function of the political leader is to funnel public opinion towards projects, right?
Yeah.
But we don't transform public opinion. Even Barack Obama, you know, he gets into office, he goes, "Oh, well, I guess the banks must stay and we'll stay in Afghanistan," because one person, especially a person elected on public opinion, is never going to have the kind of power that, I don't know, like what was like your first like gay media experience? We're like, "Oh my God, that's me."
Oh my God, Marco on Degrassi. Or
Yeah,
Jack
actually,
on Will and
maybe.
Grace. Yeah.
Yeah. Marco's a really good choice, actually.
Marco Del Rossi.
He
Yeah.
had such a quintessential, like he literally, like nothing happened in his storyline, but it just felt so dramatic. It was like,
Oh, totally.
like every once in a while, maybe they'd give him like a love interest for a little bit, but
Yeah, but you know, yeah, the whole coming out storyline, and to your point, yeah, that TV show has to this day, when I look back on what are the most influential forces over my opinions and my values besides my family at home, it is not a politician. It is a television show, a character, a book,
right.
a song.
For some of us, it's like religious figures, right? Like,
Oh yeah, totally.
like, you know, the Buddha wasn't like walking around Northeast India, 500 BC, being
Yeah.
like, "Do you guys think I should do this or that?"
That is such a good point. That actually brings me a lot of relief. Not to like get out of doing something political, but to feel like, okay, to be involved, you don't have to go run a political campaign.
Find your political dharma. I will say that when election season's in peak, when primary season's in peak, definitely do consider volunteering for a campaign.
Oh,
Do you
that's
consider
great advice.
donating to a campaign, which I know really sucks, but you know, like the reason that we're begging you on Facebook like 24/7 is above all else because like no one is donating to our campaigns, right? And like, you know, I certainly don't want to like have to ask the usual suspects for money.
Yeah.
So, but those are two little things you can do. You don't have to be really involved. And I definitely don't think, I think people take partisan identity way too far nowadays. So,
Okay.
like,
Expand on that.
like I am a lifelong Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of the Democratic Party's accomplishments in my lifetime. Definitely my dad's lifetime. You know, you start getting to my grandparents, there are some of the Southern Democrats where I'm like, okay, not them.
No, yeah. skip
Definitely
that
not
one.
them. And you go all the way back to Andrew Jackson, Thomas Jefferson. It's kind of like, okay, this definitely doesn't represent my values. And
Yeah.
there it just is. You know, the Democratic Party's a wonderful vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't think we should like build like donkey-headed statues to it and worship it either, right? Like,
Totally.
it should serve the people's interest.
That's a good point.
You should not be serving its interest.
Oh,
Me,
that's a
don't
really
worry,
good point.
Democratic Party officials. I will always serve the party's interests. But like the rest of you,
Yeah, I'm talking about everyone else.
this is my job now, okay? But like
Yeah.
the average person, and I see it sometimes. I see families ripped apart by politics. For inane, trivial reasons, right? Like your grandfather doesn't recognize your right to exist. Okay, cut him off. That's
Yeah,
fine.
totally.
But like, oh my God, I can't believe I broke up with a boyfriend in college. And sorry if you're listening, because he voted for Mitt Romney. And I think all the time about how cringe that is. And it's also cringe that he did that. It is cringe that he did that. But also, like, I literally locked myself in a bathroom and cried for hours because he voted for Mitt Romney.
Oh my God. Well, at the time, I have to tell you, at the time, it seemed like a bigger deal than it does
Oh,
now.
I know. I would trade this guy for Mitt Romney
I
any
know.
day of the week.
I think everybody has thought it at least a couple times of like, wow, you know, John McCain, Mitt Romney.
Oh, I know.
They don't look as bad as they did in the moment.
That's how much we've shifted to the right, though. That like now we're like, oh, Mitt Romney, that's just a regular moderate Democrat.
He was never going to put tanks in the streets of Washington,
Definitely not.
D.C. Yeah, I was looking recently at some Facebook, like, you know, it tells you like 15 years ago, here's what you were saying. And I'm like, I wish you would keep it to yourself. And it was something about Mitt Romney, like, we're in danger if Mitt Romney is elected. And I'm like, I did not know what danger was.
Well, I mean, like, definitely his climate policies would not have been good. Like,
no, I mean, there's a lot of policies he would have had that wouldn't have been good. But to our social...
Oh, yeah.
The
social fabric and...
Yeah, it would not have been such a torch to it.
Yeah,
the
I'm
way
not
that
a Donald Trump fan myself.
Yeah, no, me neither. Wow, okay. I am curious. I'm curious about, because I have a feeling, especially if you studied philosophy, you've had a long time interest in people, culture, society.
Yeah.
Has that just like been since birth, or like what's your background with that?
What's so interesting is I would not say it's been since birth. Like,
Okay.
I come from a family where on my paternal line, everyone has had some degree of autism spectrum disorder, and it comes with obviously the obsessions.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it began with animals. I was absolutely obsessed with animals for a really long time, probably until like my early teens.
Oh, wow.
And I just learned everything I could about animals. What's funny is it's like emptied out since then. So like, don't ask me how lemurs are related to rabbits phylogenetically. I don't know. Yeah. Once upon a time I knew. And then it just immediately just switched to anthropology, and it's kind of been there ever since. I'm kind of becoming a plant person now. Like, it'd be a little ironic. I win office and I just only become interested in plants, not people. But
I mean, well, it goes with the climate change thing. Same with the animals.
I just find people so fascinating, though. People are so interesting.
I agree wholeheartedly. Well, I think it's amazing. I think I want to be involved, so please invite me to help any way I can.
I'm gonna ask you to volunteer.
I'm making a public declaration that I want to be involved in Tyler Quick's campaign for county commissioner in Adams County. The primary is in June of 2026.
And I'm glad you didn't mention the date, because I don't know if I know the exact. I want to say it's like the 20th this year.
It is so far away. We will be checking. Everyone ask
mail-in ballot.
Siri. And I bet Siri can tell you. You can probably literally hit one button on your phone to find out.
And make sure you live in Adams County, right?
And make sure you live in
Thornton
Adams County.
peeps.
But you know what? If you don't live in Adams County,
Move to Thornton right now.
And or take Tyler's advice and participate in your primaries.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is how you are most likely to get the candidate that you want in the big election.
Absolutely.
And it's going to make you a lot more excited if you're voting for someone that you want to vote for over someone that you're tolerating voting for them.
Yeah, I know. Oil lobbyist McModerate. Like,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That
happens sometimes.
Always vote in your local elections. I have to say I'm very spoiled because I live in Denver, and I don't know if it's a Denver thing or a Colorado thing, but my ballot is always mailed directly to my house.
Uh-huh. Once you're registered in the state of Colorado, that's the norm.
Okay, great.
Which is why I'm always like, it's like roughly 25% of people each election that don't vote. I'm like, either you're really principled or you are so lazy. Like, those are the only two answers.
It's being sent to your house, especially if it's sent to your house. Fill it out.
Vote Libertarian. Well, okay, as a Democratic Party politician, I probably shouldn't say vote Libertarian. But, like, it's better than not voting still, I guess, if that's what you believe.
I mean, please vote. Please vote. Do the bare minimum of research. We live in an age where it's easier than ever to get information on what you're voting for. You could even be like me and cheat by calling your more politically inclined friends and asking them and saying, you know me. What would I vote for here? And they'll probably tell you.
Message me on Instagram.
Message Tyler on Instagram.
I'll tell you how to vote.
Tyler everywhere. When this is posted, we will have all your socials in the link in the bio. Wow, you're so impressive and cool.
Oh, thank you. You're so cool.
So happy you're here. What message about politics do you want to leave with everyone before we shift gears and we play Sip, Savor, Spill?
Just figure out what your role to play is and do it. That's all. Everyone has a role to play. No one should feel alienated from the process. And if you do, then you change the process.
I think the alienation part was so important.
I feel alienated. I mean, it was, like this last election cycle was actually the first time I think ever that I just maybe I gave a donation to Kamala, knocked on a handful of doors and phoned the rest in, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was the first time ever that I was not spending hours a week on someone's campaign or even running someone's campaign. And I get why people feel fatigued. I also felt this keen sense of not having done enough on election night. So,
well, I think a lot of people wish they had done more just because we lost.
Right.
I mean, yeah, you can't help but feel that way to a certain extent. Okay, I think that's great advice. Find your role and lean into that. And that particular advice makes me very happy again because I don't ever see myself running for office. Happy to help on any campaign possible. But when I think about being political in a not traditionally political way, like writing or whatever anyone's thing is, it's great. Or having a podcast and inviting local politician Tyler Quick to come on.
Or local crust punk queer activist who screams on the corner too, right?
It's doing something. You know what? That's a great point.
They and I have equally valid points to make, I think.
I think that is a very valid thing to say because I think another thing that gets on my nerves sometimes is people are like, if you're just sitting posting on social media, you're not doing anything. And certainly people can become involved outside of the computer.
Right.
But it's not doing nothing. Because if you influence one person who follows you or you get one person to look something up, I think just not staying away from it is what seems important to me right now.
I agree. My advice is always actually to watch what you say on social media. I have one friend who pretty much every day is white Republicans are the devil. And I'm like, ooh. Ooh.
Not sure anyone's going to lean into that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're accomplishing by that. Waging war on a straw man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe being thoughtful about it is an important component.
Do post, but think before you post.
Think critically, and that all goes into media literacy.
Oh, I know. What a need for that right now.
Yeah, this country has been failed with media literacy. Spoiler alert. All right. Well, great. I'm excited for you. I can't wait till primaries. I regret that I can't vote in the primaries because I live in Denver.
You can always move to Westminster, Thornton, Commerce City,
Brighton.
Brighton.
To Westminster by then. I will tell you, I went with my friend to look at a house. Was it Arvada or Westminster? I feel like it was Westminster. We looked at a house up there, and she can't buy it because she can't move yet. And I was like, should I move to Westminster?
I will say, we got some affordable housing in Westminster. If you actually want home ownership, it's not a bad gig. That's,
It was an amazing house for the price. I was stunned. In a great neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you're only going to make the neighborhood better.
I know. We, every time one of us show, because I feel like when gay people show up unannounced in urban areas now, people, they get a little nervous. They're like, oh.
Yeah.
Are they going to put a Whole Foods in here next? What's going to happen? But in Westminster, people will be stoked to see you. They'll be like, hell yeah.
Yeah. And
gay
also,
boy.
to your point earlier, well, I don't know if the whole county is like this, but I saw so many young families.
Actually, what's weird is when you look at the suburban counties around Denver, Adams being the more working class, blue collar, and affordable county has obviously the largest Hispanic population, but they have one of the largest Asian American populations. People get surprised that they have a large African American population in Aurora. Humongous LGBT population, 1% of Adams County, which is actually more than, not to stereotype, but you'd think Jeffco would probably be gayer than Adams County, right?
I mean, I would think
You'd think they're just a little bit gayer. I think Boulder County even is, if I remember correctly, don't quote me on that one though. But It's a really diverse place because it's affordable. And I think that makes it welcoming for LGBTQ people.
Mm-hmm.
Though every once in a while, I'll like see a neighbor like flying a Confederate flag, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Like,
I mean, there's always got to be that one.
Yeah,
That's
they benefit from affordable housing just like me too. So it's like, okay.
I know. It's interesting. It's interesting. Okay, great. We talked politics.
Politics over.
Politics over. Personal on.
Lit.
Lit. Let's get lit. Okay.
Hopefully
so,
none of the politicians make it this far in the podcast. Let's do it.
So far, none, because you're the first politician that has been on the Cameron show. Thank you for being our first.
Oh my God, now I'm a
Our
politician.
inaugural, I should say. Okay, so the game that we're going to play is called Sip, Savor, Spill. 3 levels of deep questions. Sip, then savor. Deepest or spill.
Okay.
We play this however the guest wants. So we go in whichever order. Some people like to dive right into the deep end and then ease our way out. Some people like to ease our way in.
Okay.
You can pick it or I can pick it. You can read it. I can read it. You can go first. I can go first. It's totally up to you. These are the jars.
I'll pick and you can go first. Let's do that.
Okay.
Also, don't think I'm conservative. I'm just going to go in the regular order.
Okay.
Sip. Just a little sip first. Okay,
Sip.
so wait, no. So I take it.
You,
and then you
pick
take
out a
it.
question.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to pick out
Yeah,
the
you
question.
go first,
Okay.
right?
Am
Wait,
I
are
gonna-
you also answering these questions?
I'm answering
Yeah,
them
that's
too.
what I thought. Okay, cool.
But do I answer first or do you answer first?
You answer first.
Okay.
And then I'll grab mine. I want to listen.
Well, we're going to answer the same question,
Oh, we are. Okay, cool.
but I'll give this to you after. What emoji do you use too much? This is how you know we're starting with Sip. I got in the habit of using the coffin emoji.
Whoa.
Well, like a lot of people use the skull emoji when they're like, oh my God, LOL, I'm dead. So when something's really funny, I quit using the skull as much and now I use the coffin. But I use it I use it way too often.
I love that though.
Yeah.
That's like very morbid. Okay. What emoji do I use too much?
Yeah.
I really I'm a little bit of a boomer with emojis and I use like 5 total and it's the hugging emoji of the two like anonymous
so
figures
cute.
hugging.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it began because I've been in a long distance relationship for a long time. So like it was just kind of a way to like circumvent the awkwardness in that. And over time, I just noticed like anytime it was an emotionally uncomfortable situation, I was like, okay, hugging emoji, your dad died, hugging emoji.
Oh my God. I mean, it's
There
kind
was
of
a crisis in
one-size-fits-all.
Nepal and a coup, hugging emoji, right? Like it's like thoughts and prayers, but like condensed into an emoji.
And
So,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm sending you care.
Yeah, like I'm hugging you.
I
And
love
I
that.
don't know if I like a second most used. I don't think I got one. So
Okay. I love that. Here,
Here
I'll
you go,
take
babe.
this. All right. So next, now that you've sipped, we're going to move on to savor.
Oh, savor.
Savor.
Yummy.
Okay. I'm going to pick it out again. So your question is, I didn't write these, by the way. My cousin Zach did.
Well, thank you, cousin.
Thank you, cousin Zach. Your savor question is, when do you feel most creative?
Wait, when you go first?
Oh,
When do
I'll
you
go
feel
first.
most
Okay,
creative?
yes. I feel most creative at nighttime. I am nocturnal. I sleep very little. I sleep from like 2 to 7 every day. It's horrible. I'm probably gonna die in like 2 days. But
Oh, no.
I know. My poor heart is probably so strained. I feel so creative at night. All my writing is done at nighttime, and if I ever do art, it's at nighttime. I get the most out of listening to music at nighttime. I'm just a night creature
Interesting.
in a day creature world.
I'm a day person for sure.
You are?
I think like productivity and creativity probably like ramp up around 8 a.m. and probably start to taper off like 2 to 4.
Oh my God.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, Cameron. I'm asleep. I'm in bed like by 8:39 most nights, and asleep at 10. without
I'm
fail.
envious. I'm fascinated by that. But honestly, that's healthy. So good for you.
I don't know. I mean, like I always wonder because I also like I still wake up at like 6 or 7. So like
Yeah.
I'm definitely just like a sleepy kind of guy. So
You sleep a lot.
Yeah, I like to
Compared to
sleep.
me, everyone sleeps a lot.
love to sleep.
Okay, that was a pretty good savor question. Spill, you never know. It could really be anything.
Oh dang.
Some of them are so deep that I'm like, I should have edited these first. But I didn't.
It's okay.
I didn't. I don't need to
I'm
know
a
what's in
politician. I
this.
can answer.
Well,
I can answer
exactly.
anything. So,
All right. Well, I'm very curious to know your answer to this, but I will answer first.
uh-huh.
The question is, what is a mistake you keep repeating? I will tell you, I can think of it immediately due to current events, which we won't specifically state. The mistake, and especially since we're having a politics themed episode, kind of, the mistake I keep making is fighting online with trolls.
Oh, that's a big one.
It's so easy to do. It's so hard to stop. I recently re-downloaded Twitter. Big mistake. Sometimes it's better not to know everything minute by minute.
Oh, absolutely.
And just wait for the AP alert to hit your phone. You don't need to be seeing it through the lens of millions of people's anonymous takes on it.
Yeah.
In real time.
In this like urgent sense of I need to combat the bad takes.
1,000%.
Yeah.
And I am a person that is so, I can't just have my opinions. I have to say them, or at least I feel extremely compelled to say them. And sometimes it leads me into an extremely non-productive abyss of misery. And 2 hours later, I can come out of it and be like, I accomplished nothing by doing this.
That's a good point. Like, it's a time suck, right?
Yeah. And so I have to tell myself all the time, what is the result of this? Like, what prize are you chasing? You're not, you're basically venting.
It's designed to like keep you looped in like that though.
Engaged.
Right? Like,
totally.
Yeah. And honestly, it's not even like they don't give a shit whether it's fighting fascism or like looking at thirst traps. They just want you to scroll through the ads.
They're like, just don't leave the app. Just don't leave the app.
Yeah.
No, you're so right.
Like, they don't give a shit.
It
like,
isn't all politics. I mean, I know people who are like, really? I didn't see anything about politics on mine. And I'm like, yeah.
And yet these same people like went and fought with someone for 2 hours about Nicki Minaj, right?
True. And you know what? I'm sure they had valid points.
Yeah, sure. But I also
To
think
each
that
their
maybe
own.
they could have, like crocheted in that time.
Exactly,
cooked
100%.
something, gone for a run.
There's really no fighting online that's ever fruitful.
For
in a
sure.
good way.
Yeah.
But
You're
I
not going to get a
can't.
call like, oh my God, this is, this is Greta Thunberg, and I saw those points that you made, and I've
1,000%.
I've decided to visit you and help you fight climate change in your town because your points online, right?
100%. 100%.
Like, she's on a boat without internet right now, so
well, as long as she's not captured by some pirates or government.
that's definitely another one that I'm just like, nope.
I know.
I can't even pay attention to domestic news right now, so I'm like,
No, it's so hard, and I can't help myself, and I'm constantly working on it since the inception of Twitter. So for couple decades in now, trying not to spiral out.
I'm glad I've never really been a tweeter or twitterer.
Be glad.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
a
glad.
dark hole. What's yours?
I know I've been stalling too because I'm trying to think a mistake I keep making, right?
A mistake that you keep repeating, yeah.
That I keep repeating.
Which could be in any facet of your life.
I think that one mistake that I keep repeating is I have this like gay condition of just assuming because I did something awkward or misplaced or slightly rude that like everyone is mad at me. I just like immediately assume that I have offended everyone so greatly. And in politics, this is really toxic because I get ghosted left and right. Like I am
bet.
calling people and leaving voicemails. That's like 80% of my day right now is, hey, so-and-so, you've never heard of me, but you have something that I need or advice that I want or, or honestly, I'm just calling to say hi because someone else told me to.
Wow.
Call me back, and they never call you back. And there have been times where I'm like, oh, so state senator so-and-so hates me.
Oh my God.
I think it's a
How
very
could you
gay
not,
habit.
though?
I think it's a very gay habit. I don't think straight people face that same like weird constant like, do people hate me? Do people hate me just because I'm me?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And there is something about it that's very unique to our experience because most of us spent enough time in the closet that we were so hyper aware of someone clocking you even.
That alone might be the origin of it, right?
Much less liking you, but even just like seeing you too much, you're like, ugh, and you have to be so hyper vigilant.
Yeah.
I think that's That's a really good one. And that's another one that's really hard to stop.
I definitely think that like cognitive habits and meditation help, but there are also just times where I'll be like, "Oh my God, I didn't put sincerely at the end of my email to my boss. I'm getting fired tomorrow."
Oh, wow.
She hasn't responded to me in 24 hours.
No, you're in it. That's pretty
I'm
bad.
like very self-reflexive about that. So meditation certainly helps. But that it is a mistake I keep repeating. Getting really worked up thinking someone's mad at me, and then it's just like, nope, they don't actually. The worst part is they don't give a shit about you, honey.
I know.
They don't care at all.
I know. You know what? That is so funny. The last time that I really felt that feeling strongly is I went to Bear Creek in Lakewood. That's where I went to high school.
Oh, okay.
And I'm still friendly with a lot of the teachers that I had, and some of them have asked me to come back and do stuff. So like every once in a while, it'll be like a creative writing thing. Bless you.
Excuse me.
That's our first sneeze ever on
Oh
the
my God,
podcast.
really?
Oh my God, our inaugural sneeze.
Put that in the preview.
I know. That'll just have to be a clip. We're just going to play it over and over and over. Yeah, and the little subtitle will just be sneeze in asterisks. I went back maybe like 4 years ago to do a creative writing seminar for like one of the English classes. And I felt so anxious, and I was like, oh my God, I feel so stupid, and I feel like I regressed back to 16.
Yeah.
And my teacher had to reel me back in. Well, now she's my friend, friend of the pod, Shayla Fetland. She was just like, I promise you, they don't give a shit about you. Like, they are so concerned doing the same exact thing, just like you were when you were in this building as a student, and now you're doing it again because you're like activated. But not as many people care as you think, and that's also a good thing.
Oh my God, because I work at the Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design, and I have this one student who is like very particular, and I'm like keen to impress this student, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And then one day, I, for whatever reason, had like while speaking made a trek from the back of the class and around to the front.
Oh.
And I come to see the student's laptop up, and I'm like, are they playing Baldur's Gate 3 right now?
In class?
In class. And then I'm like, is their main character me? And they weren't listening to anything I was saying. They're making this like sexually inappropriate video game version of me that just to mock me. And I was like, why do I care what these people think?
Why? Literally,
but if you're
why?
listening, give me good faculty evaluation, students.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately,
especially that student.
I do care what you think.
You owe him.
That student definitely did not fill out. In fact, I know because the course that this student was in, 0 of them filled out their course evaluation. So.
Wow. If that's not a representation of how seriously we take giving feedback and voting.
I know. But sometimes you want it like that because then you're like torturing yourself overnight. Teaching Gen Z is really difficult. Really difficult.
It couldn't be me. I can't imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure it could, but.
Okay, so since we still have a few minutes and you said that I could ask anything I wanted.
Yeah.
Now I just want to ask you a bunch of random questions.
Do it.
Okay. Are you in therapy?
No.
What are your thoughts on therapy?
I have been in therapy for most of my life, on and off.
Okay.
I am severely obsessive compulsive. I think that therapy is good. I also want to say that I think that there are elements of our culture that are over therapized. I think a lot of people who need therapy are like, oh, that's for like someone who's not me, right?
Yeah, totally.
And I think there's also people who like literally cannot make a decision without seeing a therapist first, and you got to find your happy medium.
Oh, that is so true. That is so true.
I benefited greatly from therapy. The last 2 times I've tried it, though, I ended up beefing really hard with my therapist. So.
Oh, well.
I don't think it's for me anymore.
You have to find the right therapist and find the right balance with them. Okay, so Tyler, quick, pro therapy. Wait, was that the second question I asked you?
No, that was the first question.
That was the first one? Okay. How old were you when you came out?
That's a really complicated question. I came out for the very first time at like 13 or 14 to a couple of friends. floated a test bubble at high school. That bubble was shot down so fast. Thank you, Stanley Lake High School.
Oh my God, Stanley Lake.
I know. And so I kind of planned to come out at 18 after that. I was like, I'll just go to college and be gay. It's fine. There was one vengeful young lady that kind of started telling people a little too early on because of some homecoming drama. So dumb. She always picked gay guys too. So it's like, that's not my fault. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's not my fault that you're into gay guys.
Who is your queer hero?
My queer hero. Ooh. I mean, there's like a few different ways you could go with that one. Obviously, if we're talking about from the politics standpoint, Harvey Milk died on our behalf, so I find that to be like really, really impressive. Contemporary politics, I find State Representative Breonna Tawney, who is the first transgender elected official at the state level in Colorado history and currently candidate for state treasurer, to be like unbelievably inspiring. Man, even like, you know, my local like state house representative, Lorena Garcia, is a member of our community, and I find her really, really inspiring as well. Lots and lots of queer heroes in politics.
Okay.
I will say that like my like ultimate all-time queer hero, which I'm sure you would appreciate this one, is I find Oscar Wilde's ability to be himself in his time like so inspiring. Like he also died for the cause, you know.
He also died for the cause. I do appreciate that greatly. We love a literary hero. And that's just a person who's big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, not only did he shape gay rights, but he is so much more than just like the gay author at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even though like some of his books are like definitely gay author type books too. Personal branding hero, Oscar Wilde.
Personal branding hero before it was cool. What is your favorite restaurant to frequent in Westminster?
In Westminster, that's always a really easy one, actually. I live in front of Los Arcos. It's been a community institution for like years and years and years and years. I would say there are people who probably would be a little mad at this in Commerce City in the city of Denver.
Controversial.
But Los Arcos is in my opinion the best like sit down Mexican restaurant in the Denver metro area, so that's an easy one.
Oh, okay. Well, I've never had it, so I guess I'm gonna have to go.
Okay, you're invited.
Oh
you're
my
invited.
God. Where we're talking about all the assignments that I'll have now that I've publicly volunteered for your campaign.
Yeah, I mean maybe that's what your volunteering will be. You'll just like organize something really fun at Los Arcos.
Oh my God, Los Arcos. This is me asking, can I set up a table outside and hand out flyers for a day?
Well,
I'll do it.
We're getting to like cold weather, so you want it inside, but
No, I love being cold. I'm from the mountains of Colorado. I grew up in Coal Creek Canyon. Do you know where that is?
Yeah.
Like west of Westminster.
That's a Bear Creek High School area?
Oh, no. We came down when I was 10, and then I went to Morrison.
Okay.
So then I went to Red Rocks Elementary, Carmody Middle School, Bear Creek High School.
Okay, got it.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Boulder.
Oh, you went to Boulder. Yeah. Okay. That's maybe why I didn't see you as much.
Yeah, you know, like we kind of were like, oh my God. I probably shouldn't be talking about this during political campaigns, but basically our strategy was always like, I was always the DD, and I would just drive us to tracks at like an ungodly early hour, like 7:30.
Oh my God.
I would get us there at 7:30. I would have a like little plastic bottle filled with exactly 2 shots of vodka, so that just to make sure that by the time we're going home, not only am I blowing below a 0.08, I'm blowing a flat 0.
Yeah, you're
but at
in
that
the clear.
age, oh my God, 2 shots of vodka, went and kissed everybody on the dance floor, went home.
And thrived.
Yeah, well, no, definitely.
Survived.
I was in therapy then, I'll tell you, and I needed a lot of therapy then. So,
oh my God. Okay, well, you did it. You answered every question without fail. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you for leaving us with all the messages you've left us with. Where can people find you? Because everyone wants to follow you now that they've watched this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I am Talk to TQ, Talk to TQ.
That's the number 2.
Yeah, actually I didn't even realize if the camera can see that's a 2. Very enunciated. On both Instagram and TikTok, I am exploring.
He is on TikTok.
I'm exploring TikTok for the first time. And that's kind of it for social media, but I also have a campaign website. It's Tyler4
Number
Adams.
4.
4adams.com. So,
Oh, that's nice and easy to remember.
yeah.
Talk to TQ and Tyler 4 Adams.com.
.com. Yeah.
And just like that. All right. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're invited back anytime.
Let's do it.
I can't wait to go to Los Arcos.
If I win my primary, I'll come back.
Oh, yes.
Fingers
and you heard it.
crossed.
That's a commitment.
And then I can be my realist self.
And then you'll be our inaugural actual politician.
We'll do it. We'll find some more, though, for you, too.
You're going
There's some amazing gay people in politics here.
Oh, great. You're going to help me get more people on my show.
Okay.
You're going to help me figure out who's worthy to come on the Cameron show.
I already know, like 20 people.
Oh, my
50
God.
people.
He's about to send me the longest list, and that just means you have a lot to look forward to at home.
You do.
All right, friends. Thank you for joining us. We will be back next Thursday. And as always, live your best life. Don't be a dick. I love you. Goodbye.